Welcome to the Big Biz Show. Taking care of business. You want fast-talking, hard-hitting discussions on business and finance? Maybe with a barroom slant and some really salty peanuts? We're not counting calories. We're counting cash. Before we get to the man with the financial plan, meet the money team. Costa, Mary, now Captain Finance himself, Sully.
We welcome you to the Big Biz Show inside the Loft 100 studios. Wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, we appreciate you being along for the ride.
And nobody ever says.
And like we say around here and these here parts,
a big old howdy to you.
Oh my God, right there in Technicolor, right in your face. That's the Day Trader Trio. I am Costa, and of course, that is Sully.
Great to have you along today as we have a huge show coming up. No Mary. Mary is taking PTO for the last 6 months of this year, apparently.
She's in the Big Apple, I believe, this time.
I don't know where she is. I never know where
she is.
I see her. It must be. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Hi. I just here to get my mail. See you later.
I was in the hospital last time. I did miss the show here, and you did it.
Yes.
She's in New York.
Yeah, exactly.
Hoi polloi.
New York is kind of a hospital.
Little umbrella drink. Mike, when you were in bars as a guy, were you one of these just, hey babe?
Oh. No.
Nothing says you should date me like, hey babe, what's your name?
No, I never out of a straw, never with a little umbrella. It was always just nice.
Although I have seen you a couple times like this at the party.
Exactly.
With the pickle for index finger.
Why is the index finger so wrinkly?
He's like, oh, nice to see you. Hey, we have a very sad day today, but it's a very happy day because I heard that this isn't the last we'll see her. But can we bring up our intern Cassidy, who's her last day? Another one freaking bites the dust. Another one's gonna break our heart.
Guess we're coming.
Cass, are you back there?
Now she's being shy. There she is.
There she is.
Hello. Surprise.
Okay, so are you going to your junior year?
Yes, junior year.
When do you come back?
December to January. I'll be here for a month, and then.
We have you?
Yeah, I'd be happy to be here.
When you're not hungover? So, when you come back, we have a job for you when you were at school this time.
Really?
Yes, we have an assignment for you. Mike, you want to talk about the Gen X economic assignment we have that Dan Negroni came up with? We would like to know.
Yep.
Between now and the end of the year, how AI is affecting you guys' planning and thought process, not for just money, but for jobs and careers.
Okay.
Because I feel, and Dan said this yesterday in the air, and he actually mentioned you. I don't know if you were here or not. He mentioned that he thought in the next 6 months it's going to be pretty dynamic in that space.
Really?
Has anything changed for you over the summer? Because you haven't been paying attention, have you?
No, actually, like you said, I mean, it's affecting us a lot, and I think we rely on social media, technology to get us through these days, but sitting in, and I mentioned this when I was on the show last week, sitting in the control room, it kind of forced me to pay attention to the business side of it and listen to the CEOs and all these business owners because I'm kind of like naive, I guess you could say.
Does this make you want to lean more towards being involved in social media and messaging versus being on air, or does it seem like you could do more than one thing now versus when you first got here?
I mean, yeah, I've learned every single side of this production.
What, tending bar? Okay.
Not yet.
Well, congratulations.
That's my new job.
It's been great having you. Oh, Jared. Let me bring Jared up.
Okay.
Oh, he needs you back in there. Thank you for coming. Yeah.
The best. Get out of here. Beat it. I don't even know you anymore. See you in December. All right, keep it here. Big show coming your way on the Big Biz Show. Do not go anywhere. Biz Show rolls on live from the Loft 100 studios. Wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, we always thank you for being along for this ride. That right there, Day Trader Trio, best in the business. No lessons self-taught. Of course, back here at the bar, it is Costa and Sully.
Wait, what is this? Is this a new look for you with the? I've seen that brand before with the whale on it, but not with the whale in it. Thank you, everybody.
Oh my God, it wrote itself and it was so good. This is Vineyard Vines.
It's Vineyard Vines.
Yeah.
Is that a very hoi polloi brand?
Pretty much. It's kind of a southeastern part of the
You're looking like you're slimmer to me.
I am slimmer.
Is it because of Vivos?
Absolutely.
Really?
Vivos has a hand in it.
Really? Vivos, of course, stock symbol VVOS we feature here on the air. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because it is an what is it called? Obstructive sleep apnea device.
Yes. Oral device, super easy to use, and you sleep better, you feel better, you're more apt to get up and go work out. And
do you?
Absolutely.
What does Meg think?
She doesn't care. I roll out of bed quietly.
I'm talking about, you're not waking her up anymore?
Oh no, not snoring. Yeah, snoring.
So she has no reason to leave you anymore?
Pretty much. No, I'm sure I'll find a reason.
It's close, Meg.
Shortly for her.
It's close, Meg. Missed it by
I'll
this
come up with something.
Hey, Allan Evans is a good friend, CEO of Unusual Machines, UMAC, and it's interesting because he has been absent for the last couple of weeks, but there's a good reason for it. Because he is manlier than you and I will ever be.
Yes, he is.
In fact, here's his theme song. He is Magnum PI.
Short shorts and Hawaiian shirt, the whole 9 yards.
No,
I guess I got to work on the mustache.
Can you please? This is interesting in corporate culture infotainment here. Every year you make your staff and your team take off 10 consecutive days. Now let me tell you. Here's what's interesting. In the banking business, all banks require consecutive 7-day at least once a year. Do you know what that's for? Because if you're doing something fraudulent in the financial industry, you can't cover it. If you're gone 7 days, it doesn't give you a chance to cover it up. This is a better reason. It gets you guys to reset, and you look balmy and rosy cheeked after a. You should see what this guy does for fun. See, for fun, sure. For me, there's an umbrella drink, a surfboard, and a lounge. For him, there's hiking boots, a 40-pound pack, and a mountain.
Wrestling tigers.
Yeah, exactly right.
Okay.
Where did you come up with that, by the way?
A long time ago, I started to think, like, how do you get people to work hard and still like work?
Yeah.
Because they don't go together. And it was really realized you needed a reset. I had noticed people that were coming back from vacation where they totally checked out were just way more productive. That, and then everybody always used to talk about the stupid you get hit by a bus thing.
Yeah.
From redundancy, and I always thought that was dumb. Like, I look both ways when I cross the street.
Yeah.
If I get hit by a bus, there's a problem. So it was more like, wait, can we create the redundancies and reset everybody by just having everyone take a real vacation where they step away? And it works wonderfully. So my COO, he's like, oh yeah, this company's kind of like driving a race car. You go as fast as you can. You wear out the tires, you stop, you get new tires. That's what he equated it to. He's like, yeah, it's a pit stop. It's great. And that analogy now sticks with me, but it works really well.
And it works. Real quickly, where did you end up going? Because this is an interesting story. This is off topic, and I'm going to give you plenty of time to talk about UMAC, but I thought you didn't relax at all.
Does anybody ever relax on vacation?
Yeah, some people do. They're strange. We went backpacking in the Wind Rivers in Wyoming. So like up at 10,000 feet, you go hike, you stare at mountains, you haul everything in, you dig a hole to use the restroom. And really what happens is I'm hyperactive. So it just fully engages every aspect of everything. So I can't think about anything but eating rehydrated potatoes for dinner and loving them. And then you come back to reality and you're like, well, I took a shower. It was incredible. You're like, plumbing's amazing. Or I had a 12-hour flight delay getting home, and I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
They're bringing me a soda.
Hey, yeah, well, the funny part, we did talk the other day. He said he was stuck in the airport. He goes, fine, there's electricity here. There's a chair here. I can drink those little creamers if I want. Filtered water.
Yeah. Yes.
Hey, Allan, let's get to unusualmachines.com. For folks that haven't seen it before, because we picked up a whole pile of new affiliates. that we'll be sharing here in the next couple of days, but on BizTV and beyond. But talk about what you guys do overall. Just a real quick rewind for people who haven't seen it before. But then I want to talk to you about this BVLOS rule, which I don't understand. I'll let you bring us all up to date on it.
No problem. We do drone parts, mostly onshoring. So we do the value drone parts that were historically in China, mostly for the small drones. So the stuff you see at weddings and everything else. There's a huge push to build drones in America, and we're the tier 1 supplier for a lot of those parts. That's what our company does. So things are going well there. And now if you want to get to BVLOS, or the Notice of Proposed Rulemaking, so NPRM for BVLOS, so real alphabet soup. Basically, what it's saying is the Secretary of Transportation came out and said, hey, we're going to let drones fly beyond line of sight. Let's finalize the rules for it. And if you think about it, like DoorDash delivering a hot meal real quick via drone,
sure,
or Walmart with prescriptions, this is really setting the framework to allow drones to be used domestically in like a really cool way.
Hey, Allan, I asked this question when we talked to crypto and digital currency and blockchain folks, because I say we're already using digital currency because we all have the same $40 in our pocket we had for the last 6 months, unless you have to tip somebody. So we're already using a number on a screen. We're already using drones for everything from movie, film, news, in some cases security. What's the gap in your mind between truly having Amazon or Pizza Hut drop something down? And a lot of it has to do with local, regional rules and FAA rules and such like that. So there's some sort of semblance, but that is the on-ramp to when we were George Jetson and we're all flying our little spacecraft in there. I mean, really, honestly, I kid about that. But once they figure out that infrastructure of how to organize that those flight patterns, that really is an on-ramp for something much bigger. Talk about that.
Yeah, totally agree. If you look at the history of aviation and we go through time, the major carriers today carried mail originally, right? Like Delta, United, they were mail carriers in the 20s. Through conflict, got better and better, and now we all fly in planes. In the same way, if you see delivery from like DoorDash come to your house and drones are cool and we figure out how to use the sky and there are no accidents, now you're more likely to do bigger packages, go further, maybe do it for yourself. So maybe I don't climb up the mountain anymore, I just get dropped in. That'd be cool. And really, I think it's the evolution of how a lot of the transportation works. It starts with stuff, and then once you trust it, it moves to people.
Allan Evans is the CEO, Unusual Machines, ticker symbol UMAC. Allan, as more drones enter the space, and you mentioned, delivering all sorts of things, I have to assume like the DHLs, the FedExes, the UPSs of the world, then start taking a bigger role with drones as well?
Yeah, I think so. A lot of them contract out delivery, so they don't really care how it gets from the warehouse to the customer. But I think you'll see a lot of the intermediate or a lot of the contractors that do to those deliveries really start to add drones and other forms of automation. So yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of that. But again, like using basically a helicopter to lift a package doesn't always make as much sense as using rolling friction.
Sure.
Like for a big fridge or something.
Yeah, right.
Unless you're in a hard to reach place. But definitely like the DoorDash model or the CVS sort of pharmacy model, those things make total sense to me, right? Like if you're sick at home and you just want to go to bed, you do not want to go get NyQuil from the pharmacy.
Right. Hey, this just in, Allan. I never want to go outside after I get off of work. Yeah. I just hold up. Hey, talk about UMAC and talk about what's happening here in your mind over the next 18 months. I know that you are hiring folks. I know that you have lots of stuff going on in the news in terms of scale and moving the ball forward. This is moving much faster. I mean, you told us this was going to happen when we first met you about 3-4 months ago, but this is really certainly happening maybe faster than I anticipated. Any of this surprise you? Anything changed to cause the acceleration in the model and what's happening with revenue? Because it's obviously...
Yeah, it's going a little faster than I thought. So the Hegseth saying, hey, look, everyone in the DoD can use government credit cards to buy drones. That was a surprise.
That's going to be good. Nice.
So now we're getting people just coming to rotoride.com and buying stuff on credit card. That's cool. And then like this Duffy thing for BVLOS being like, oh yeah, drones can do all these deliveries now. Like there's a lot of domestic stuff that's interesting. And then the tariffs and like some of the policy to kick out Chinese drones has created almost like a new Wild West for American drone companies. Yep. And, the drones are the sexy part. So every young startup person wants to be like, look at my sweet drone. We're just doing the boring. Like, yeah, here's a motor. Like, it's not. So it's just really not sexy.
Well,
so we don't have the same amount of.
But it's necessary.
Yes.
It's
Well,
necessary.
Exactly.
Hey, before I let you out of here today, you've got a second quarter earnings call for financial results call next week. How do people get involved in that? We want to be able to get that out there to folks if they want to watch and so on and so forth. Because I know you can't say anything in advance because you're CEO of a public company, but folks, open our indicators. Even as I'm an investor in this company, even as I take a look at this thing, I can't wait for the earnings call next Thursday or the financial results call. How do people get involved? They just go right to the website, unusualmachines.com?
Yep, unusualmachines.com. Click on the link. We do it all through Zoom ourselves, so you can go in and register. We try to answer everybody's questions, and we'll give you as much information as we can. Worst case, record it. Listen to me as you fall asleep because the baritone will put you out in like 2 minutes.
Allan Evans, CEO.
No matter what.
He's in studio next month.
Good.
Can't wait.
CEO,
Thanks,
Unusual Machines. UMAC is the ticker symbol. All right, keep it right here. There is much more to come. Big Biz Show rolls on. We are in Southern California inside the Loft 100 studios. Hope everyone's having a great day. We certainly are because you're along for the ride. We're doing well because the Day Trader Trio killing it as usual right there up on stage. Back here at the bar it is Costa and it is Sully.
Hell yeah.
That was pretty tight.
Smooth as a gravy sandwich.
There we go.
Our good buddy Corey Perlman's here.
Corey Perlman is a social media keynote speaker, owner of Impact Social Media, Inc. His websites are coreyperlman.com, impactsocialmedia.com. And he's always telling us the do's and don'ts when it comes to social media, and I always listen.
Yeah, well, I've been posting. I've been posting on Instacart for many. Wondering why I'm not getting any traction with my cucumber pictures on Instacart.
I use the potato.
Yeah, potato goes in front of the Speedo. By the way,
I use an eggplant.
Yeah. Hey.
Wow!
Said the social media guy.
Whoa!
Hey, Corey, we talked about AI last time and artificial intelligence, how it's going to affect the world of social media and interaction and such. And I didn't even think about it because we've heard for probably 8-10 years of SEO, search engine optimization. And now we're hearing AIO, artificial intelligence. What does that mean, artificial intelligence optimization?
Yeah, so it's a reminder to all of us that AI is not just giving us answers to questions, but it's recommending people, businesses, services. So we want to be optimized so that we show up in those results. So that's what it means, artificial intelligence optimization. Think of it like SEO, but for AI.
So practically speaking, how would that work? Like, in other words, because it seems to me, and you're the person I believe, maybe it was you, maybe it was another guest that said, stop thinking about ChatGPT and AI as a search engine, think of it as a person, as a partner. And I think doing that, in my mind, what I'm thinking is, we're data scraping faster than, I remember my daughter was in studio the other day just watching the show with her husband and said, we were talking about ChatGPT with Dan Negroni, our millennial and a Gen X expert. And he says, well, I think people aren't thinking for themselves. I said, no, I think they're thinking for themselves as long as you understand how it works, because you're just scraping all of the Encyclopedia Britannica and Funk and Wagnalls in your dad's library all at the same time. It's just faster. But talk about the optimization side. How does that practically work?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Sully. I mean, there's this whole side, obviously, for us to use it as a tool, but the other side is for other people to find us. So the best practices around doing that are similar to what we used to do for SEO, which is write words, write content with the way that other people would search for us. So in my case, social media keynote speaker, I need to be writing short blurbs, and it's not just on websites anymore. It's on social media sites, it's on videos. Everything you post content on, you want to keep it short, sweet, and bullets over paragraphs.
And the interesting part of this is, if you use something like Perplexity, yes, and such, you can ask follow-up questions to it. And I think that you really have to think about, if you're a writer, write it all like I do. You write, you rewrite, you walk away from it, you rewrite it again, and then you massage it. You can do the same thing here, which is going to optimize. And is the idea to optimize the message? Is the idea to optimize interactions, or is it all the above?
The most important thing to optimize is your bio. So think about like the top of your Instagram, the top of your LinkedIn. You want to make sure, again, you're using the same words that people would be looking for to find you. So I could say all these things that I am. At the end of the day, people are searching for social media keynote speakers. So I need to use those words all over my bios.
Corey Perlman is the owner of Impact Social Media, Inc., website impactsocialmedia.com. Corey, there was a number of years ago when Sully and I were still doing terrestrial radio. Anytime we posted...
We still are, by the way. Radio 600 Kogo every Saturday.
Sorry, you're right.
Saturday here in
Not
San Diego,
full-time,
and also
though.
KFI in Los Angeles, although... when's the last time you got paid for that? Yeah, maybe either.
Where anything that we posted on social media that had to do with a product or company we were endorsing, we had to make sure we posted hashtag AD. So people knew it was an advertisement that we were promoting. With AI and the way it is growing and the way people are getting duped by it and the way that it's everywhere, where you look at it now and go, okay, is this real or is this fake? Are we going to get to the point that the government has to step in, if they haven't already, and said, okay, if you're going to post something on social media, whatever the case is, you have to put hashtag AI or something like that?
Yeah, that's a great point, Mike. I mean, we are kind of the wild, wild west, similar to when the internet was first out there.
Yes.
And so there's no rules right now. And I feel like there has to be some kind of rules and regulations, because it's a baby right now, right? It's a newborn, and you can kind of still tell that the video is AI,
right?
But it's coming fast, and it's going to be harder and harder to tell. And it's not fair to people to know whether or not it's fake or not, I think.
Do you know what's interesting is that if you think in terms of Internet 1.0, Napster, Netscape, MySpace, AOL, CompuServe, actually it was America Online.
That's right.
And then Thomas Penfield Jackson, a judge, did the Microsoft antitrust ruling, which sort of burst the .com bubble. And here comes 2.0 Internet, which included Facebook. It included, now it's what's called Instagram, YouTube. What is a bigger, better, faster, stronger, and cheaper and more efficient Internet? I sort of feel like there's going to be a comeuppance here with respect to ChatGPT and AI, although which felt like, remember, we're doing Netscape and the .coms and the .orgs and the .cc's and all that stuff. Don't you think, and I'm not suggesting it has to be something negative, I'm just suggesting there's going to be a comeuppance somewhere where there's going to be a pain point, the ugly period, that all businesses and technologies have, and all of a sudden then it's going to be an aha moment. How do you feel about that?
Strap in. I mean, it's job security for me, and I'm very excited about. Yeah, because the rules are going to be changing faster than we can possibly imagine, and I think you guys are right. There's got to be some changes in regulations, because we're going to go willy-nilly with it at first and make all kinds of mistakes. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Hey, Corey, we got a couple minutes left. I want to ask you, and this is off script here today in terms of talking points, but we've seen in the past, I just mentioned a few, the MySpaces of the worlds and the Vines and all that stuff. Basically, we are living with four major social platforms. If you take LinkedIn out of the way, because LinkedIn, I think, is going to be the best practices for almost all business social and communication going forward, especially when AI takes over there. What is the next Instagram? What's the next Facebook? What is the next TikTok? Is there any whisperings of things coming on? Because I think one of the things that you've seen, Facebook, for example, is for dinosaurs. Instagram is going to go that way unless they modify. TikTok may end up being, the discount store on the sideline that was thought to be the main deal, because because of the credibility factor and who owns it. What are you hearing on the horizon?
Well, this is a little bit of breaking news. It's not exactly the answer to your question, but I think it's worth sharing with your audience because they need to know what's happening. But as of yesterday, Instagram announced a reposting feature. So this is their way of staying relevant, Sully, I think. And so it's a feature similar to what you can do on TikTok and on X, which is like retweeting, if you remember. But you can now repost something on your platform that somebody else has. You've never been able to do that before on Instagram.
No kidding.
And it's a giant new feature. So there you go, breaking news.
Okay, well, fantastic stuff. Last of all, Corey, speaking of X, how is X doing? If you were to overlay X versus Twitter, pre-X, post-Twitter, is it still as impactful as it was before, or not?
Not well. We don't talk about it. We don't hear about it. So
something that's not even used.
Not going well.
I don't hear about it either. Corey Perlman is his name.
Corey Perlman, social media keynote speaker, owner of Impact Social Media, Inc. website, impactsocialmedia.com. Corey, always appreciate the visits.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Can't wait to have him back in studio.
Oh, my God. All right, keep it right here. We're rolling along right after this. Don't go anywhere. Loft 100 Studios, The Big Biz Show, and our affiliates and our hosts are not registered investment advisors or broker-dealers.
Our show hosts make no commitment that the purchase of securities of companies profiled or otherwise mentioned in our programming
are suitable or advisable for any person, or that an investment in such securities will be profitable in general.
Given the nature of the company's profile and the lack of an active trading market for the securities, investing is highly speculative and carries a certain high degree of risk.
We profile selected publicly traded and privately held companies on our program.
Most of these companies that we profile have provided compensation to Loft 100 Studios and its hosts for the profile coverage.
From time to time, we sell shares of the companies profiled in the open market that we receive as compensation for coverage of client companies.
But never sell stocks if we are speaking about interviewing or covering a public company who has paid compensation.
Specific questions on compensation can be obtained by contacting producer at sullyentgroup.com.
Listeners should verify all claims and do their own due diligence before investing in any securities mentioned on this program.
Investing in securities is speculative and carries a high degree of risk.
We encourage our investors to invest carefully and read the investor information available at the websites on the
Securities and Exchange Commission at sec.gov and or the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, FINRA, at www.finra.org.
I like it.
Hey, is that a rescue plane?
We're inside the Loft 100 Studios, and it means it's the Big Biz Show. Everybody, thanks for being along for the ride. Well, that's big as well. Day Trader Trio on stage. Costa Sully with you here by the bar. The bar.
Okay, this is the day where we get Maria back, President and CEO of Annovis Bio. Can you remember?
Yes. She's an Olympic power lifter, right?
Yes, she is.
Okay.
Do you remember how to pronounce her last name?
I don't want to butcher it.
Maria Maccecchini? Is it Maccanini?
No, it's not Maccanini.
What is it?
It's Maria.
Hey, Maria, great to see you.
Maria Macaroni.
No, I wasn't
Macaroni. How do we pronounce your last name? Since Mary's not here to correct us every single time.
Is it Maccecchini?
It's Maccanini.
Maccecchini.
Maccecchini.
That's what I said.
So matcha, like you drink every morning, and the color of your shirt. Okay. And then Kini, which is a game you play in Las Vegas when you're up till 3 in the morning. Oh, that's Keno. Sorry,
Keno.
Maria, it's so great to see you again. How is your weightlifting going? Because I mean,
It's not going anywhere because I didn't have time. We have been really, really busy with the clinical study. I went to meetings. I even went on vacation, so I have not lifted a feather.
Well, it's time.
Yeah.
Because I know it was a passion of yours. Hey, since we haven't had you on for a little bit, talk about exactly, once again, for our audience, what Annovis Bio is doing. By the way, their stock symbol ANVS. ANVS. You can go to annovisbio.com. But we're talking about understanding how nerve cells die and the toxic cascade that leads to nerve cell death and how that can be reversed. Talk about exactly what you guys are doing and the addressable market and such like that. And it's really great to see you.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me back. I always enjoy having a drink. So, with you specifically. Okay, so we are treating Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. And our drug, as you just said, protects nerve cells from dying. Now, in neurodegeneration, the word already says it, nerve cells die. And if they don't die, you do not lose the function associated with them. So in Alzheimer's, you don't lose your memory. In Parkinson's, you could still walk and move correctly. Mm-hmm. So we have actually treated over 880 patients, okay? And over 1,000 if we add the healthy volunteers. And we found that the drug works in Alzheimer's and it works in Parkinson's. And this is our pipeline. As you could see in Alzheimer's, we're way ahead. We started our last study The FDA has said that if this study works, we can file an NDA, which means a market approval. The last study is a 760 patient, 18-month study. So we are half a year into this study, actually not even yet. We are 4 months into this study, and we have 3 years to go. But we are very excited because this really will show forever that the drug works in Alzheimer patients. And then we have Parkinson's, yes?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, then you have the Parkinson's, and then you have the third treatment. Talk about the other two, because the track of this arc of this FDA story is moving pretty rapidly. If you talk about the Lewy body dementia, the Trulicity, and so on and so forth. They're all moving at a pretty rapid pace, and I can tell you, you're going to be busy with NDA, new drug applications here, almost all at the same time, don't you think?
Well, the FDA is not that fast. I don't think so. No, I think we're going to have a new drug application for Alzheimer's next year, end of next year, and then for Parkinson's maybe a year later. Realistically, we are not running too many studies in parallel because I don't have the money. So have to do it one at a time, but we do Parkinson's. We want to continue Parkinson's. And then you mentioned Lewy body dementia. Lewy body dementia is interesting because it's really a mix of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. It's a mix, in the way that the brain looks. It actually has parts of Alzheimer toxicity and parts of Parkinson's toxicity. It's also mixed in terms of how the patients feel. They have neurodegeneration, they're cognitively impaired, and they have Parkinson's movement disorders. So yes, those are the three things we are doing. You mentioned Trulicity and Viagra. It would be nice, but right now I don't have the money to do that.
Okay, and let's talk about it for a second, because we were talking last time, and I talked to another biopharma firm, I think it was yesterday, the day before. You know, the JP Morgan Chase, biopharma conference that happens every year, sort of talked about last year, 2024, how 2022 and 2023 were such horrible years for biopharma. And they said last year that it was going to open up, but probably no capital available for the first quarter. They were right. Capital opened up for the second quarter, but closed right back up second quarter of last year. And all of a sudden you got Q3, Q4 of 2024 with no money for biopharma. And now we're half a year into 2025. And it sort of seems like money's opening up, but you're at the tip of the spear there. Is it truly sort of feel like there's a glow at the end of the cave there, or is it still really tough raising capital?
It's still really, really tough, especially in a disease like Alzheimer's disease, because unfortunately, the novel applications, the novel way of treating the disease have had a lot of failures. Originally, everything had a lot of failures, but you may know that in the last 2 years, 2 drugs were approved, one by Lilly and one by Eisai Biogen. And so these are now the 2 drugs that are on the market. So there is something. They're not very good, but it's better than nothing. Whereas no new mechanism, no new way of treating Alzheimer's disease has worked to date. So once we have our 760 patient study, we will know that it works.
Maria Maccecchini is the president CEO of Annovis Bio, Inc. Their ticker symbol ANVS. Maria, a ballpark figure, how many people worldwide are affected by Alzheimer's or affected by Parkinson's?
So in the US, it's about 10 million. Worldwide, it's about 50 million. However, the reality is that in a lot of countries, they're not being diagnosed, especially not Alzheimer's.
Sure.
Parkinson's has been diagnosed, it's pretty much diagnosed in all developing countries. Because when grandfather or the uncle starts shaking, people know something is wrong.
Right.
Whereas Alzheimer's, while it is 6 to 7 times more common, people just say he is getting old and they hide them.
I think what's interesting here too is if you think about your secondary compounds that you're working on during this, it gives you a pipeline that sort of, if money does open up, or when money does open up the pipeline, because it's going to open up sooner than later. You have almost an endless supply right now to keep you guys busy for the next, 5 to 7 years in terms of pipeline, in terms of research? Is that about right?
Well, yes, except if we get an NDA next year and we have a drug on the market in 2 years, yes, then we will actually have the money to do all the add-ons and do Lewy body dementia and do advanced AD and do traumatic brain injury, yes.
Hey, Maria, before I let you out of here, and it's great you're back, and we're looking forward to having you on there on a regular basis again. Talk to us about what's happening in your mind as far as milestones and such for the next year to 18 months to 2 years. In a perfect world, and how you see that unraveling.
Well, in a perfect and in an imperfect world, we'll be done with the first part of the 18-month study by next year. And then in a perfect and imperfect world, we will be done with the 18-month study at the end of 27, because we will do the study. Now, in a perfect world, the data is beautiful and will go on the market.
And of course, NDA changes everything, right? New drug application is everything. Her name is
Maria Maccecchini. She is the president and CEO, Annovis Bio Inc., ticker symbol ANVS, paperweight Olympic powerweight champion as well. Watch for her to be on this program a lot more in the near future. Speaking of that, we're back after this. Loft 100 Studios, The Big Biz Show, and our affiliates and our hosts are not registered investment advisors or broker-dealers.
Our show hosts make no commitment that the purchase of securities of companies profiled or otherwise mentioned in our programming
are suitable or advisable for any person, or that an investment in such securities will be profitable in general.
Given the nature of the company's profile and the lack of an active trading market for the securities, investing is highly speculative and carries a certain high degree of risk.
We profile selected publicly traded and privately held companies on our program.
Most of these companies that we profile have provided compensation to Loft 100 Studios and its hosts for the profile coverage.
From time to time, we sell shares of the companies profiled in the open market that we receive as compensation for coverage of client companies.
But never sell stocks if we are speaking about interviewing or covering a public company who has paid compensation.
Specific questions on compensation can be obtained by contacting producer at sullyentgroup.com.
Listeners should verify all claims and do their own due diligence before investing in any securities mentioned on this program.
Investing in securities is speculative and carries a high degree of risk.
We encourage our investors to invest carefully and read the investor information available at the websites on the
Securities and Exchange Commission at SEC.gov and or the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, FINRA, at www.finra.org.
I like it.
Hey, is that a rescue plane?
In over 175 countries, all the ships at sea. On the American Forces Radio Network, as always, we say thank you to the brave men and women of the United States Armed Forces. We also say thank you to the Day Trader Trio, those fine artists right up there on the stage. Back here at the bar, not so fine, it's Costa and Sully.
Hey.
Everyone's having a great day.
Great to have you along today. And as the show moves forward, talk to our next guest, James McCormick, one of my favorite guys.
CEO, Cloudastructure Inc., ticker symbol CSAI, and we always love spending some time with Mr. McCormick, heir to the McCormick Spices fortune.
James, how are you, sir? Good to see you.
I'm doing great. A funny story about what you just said about McCormick Spices. I've traveled a lot, right, over the years. I get on a flight. United's the primary carrier. Every time I get on, they say McCormick, like, are you related to the McCormick Spice family? And I say the same thing. If I was,
I wouldn't be on this.
I would not be flying.
That's exactly right. Here, have some nutmeg.
Yeah, have some.
Hey, talk about let's talk about AI surveillance. Let's talk about deterrence versus just responding and reacting.
Yeah, sure. So, well, let's start. Cloudastructure. What do we do? Right?
Yep.
So we have an advanced, award-winning AI security platform that offers predominantly enterprise businesses a scalable cloud-based architecture for all their video surveillance. So the platform includes state-of-the-art artificial intelligence in machine learning analytics, seamless remote guarding, and cloud storage. And our customers enjoy surveillance that's 100% continuously monitored in real time.
Wow.
And they receive alerts to threats. And if there's an emergency, we have remote guards that can talk down over a loudspeaker and to chase people away, or contact law enforcement and deter crime. And based on all of that, we have a documented 98% deterrence rate of stopping crime before it happens,
James,
which is pretty impressive.
James, much like a shotgun shell being chambered, even a barking dog for someone who's in a house or an apartment, I've got to assume that you see a lot as far as the surveillance is concerned of once that voice comes across the speaker with the camera, that people just dart.
They take off 100%. 98%.
98%, sure.
Yeah, and that is actually the point. And we have video clips. There's a lot of clips on our website, but it's everything from people in the package area of a multifamily complex with a crowbar trying to, pry things open and get access to packages,
right?
To people either trying to break into cars and or do something nefarious, right? Yeah. Right.
So, but the interesting part here that I've never heard before until we talked to you guys, James, is the fact that this is about deterrence. It's not it's not an alarm system. It's not about, here we go, we're going to go out here now and we're going to respond to you quickly because it's well before that. And I think that's going to make a big difference going forward because you got a $200 billion physical security market and this turns it on its side. And it's not if you can do it, you're already doing it.
100%. Yep. That's absolutely correct. And what we're seeing confidence from existing and customers we're talking to right now in both our technology and our team, right? Customers know that traditional surveillance is not efficient. It's reactive, and they're looking for something completely different, and that's what we offer.
James McCormick, CEO, Cloudastructure, Inc. Their ticker symbol is CSAI, Cloudastructure.com's website. James, you're also well positioned for any of the regulatory either tailwinds or headwinds you may face?
Yes, indeed. Let us give you an example. There are certain states and certain counties that are starting to mandate that properties must have some form of live surveillance, and we are capitalizing on that as we speak. Particularly Maryland, Virginia, that sort of stuff. Florida is starting, certain areas of Florida are starting to look at mandates, and that has been a very nice addition to our portfolio for those types of properties. So yes, absolutely.
Any chance for this type of thing to be mandated for municipal entities and municipalities? Because I got to tell you, not just residential, commercial. Could you imagine if this is mandated for cities, that have, well, every city's got a security issue, but have you ever talked about that, or has anybody ever brought that up?
Sure, we have, and there are a few of our competitors that have focused on that particular area almost exclusively. Here's what I would say: what we think at the moment, municipalities, government, it's just a long time. It takes a long time to crack the code of getting them to even agree to a trial. And we have so much other opportunity available to us right now. We're focusing on that, but you could imagine, one could imagine that government/municipalities could absolutely be an area we would look at.
We got to get you in studio, buddy. We got to get you here in studio. We got to get you in San Diego.
I'd love to. Could I sit down with the day trader trio?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. As long as you bring us some free paprika. James McCormick, CEO, Cloudastructure, Inc. Their ticker symbol CSAI, website cloudastructure.com.
BizTV.com.